Hey there, my name's Taylor Walden, and I am your host of Shop Talk with Radiate Prints. And this week, I'm talking to Josh Potter of 1413 Visuals. And if you're thinking, wow, Taylor, that sounds kind of familiar, it's probably because Josh is the owner of the studio that I'm sitting in right now. But not just that, Josh is a nationally recognized videographer and photographer, the winner of a few different broadcast TV awards from back in the day when he was working at the TV station creating video. Josh is a very well-known videographer in Eastern North Carolina. A few places you might have seen Josh's work are on the big screen at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium doing promotions for different companies like Young's Physical Therapy, or even on your TV, watching the local news and seeing commercials for different businesses. Or maybe you've been scrolling on social media and you've seen a video from Emily McAllister that Josh has helped create. There's all kinds of places that you see videographers like Josh show up on your phone, on your TV, or when you're out in the community. And today on the podcast, Josh comes on and tells us all about how he got started. Like most people in this industry, Josh started out as someone who loved video, audio, and photography as a hobby of his, but it eventually became much more than that when he started a career at a local TV station. And before he knew it, there were business owners who were coming to him and saying, hey, have you ever thought about taking this freelance and kind of doing your own thing? And Josh walks us through kind of step by step of how he did that. And he also approaches a really unique topic that a lot of freelancers kind of struggle with, which is that their whole business is tied to just them. But Josh has an answer to that and talks about a different kind of revenue model that he launched with his business that allows him to create something that expands much more than just the videos that he creates himself. So it's a really unique episode, a really unique business model and industry, and some really cool takes from Josh. Before we dive into this episode with Josh, I just wanted to remind you that spring is coming and Radiate Prints just got in a ton of new styles. So if you need some fresh apparel to outfit your staff, to give to your customers, or you need some merch for your upcoming spring shows and all that good stuff, we'd be happy to help you out. Just give us a call or reach out to us at Radiate Prints. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into this podcast.
That's Skittles.
It's Skittles?
It's Skittles flavored water mix. Don't.
Is that the only way Tracy can get you to drink water?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
It is.
You got it.
All right, Tracy, don't mess this up.
This is my most important interview yet.
Yeah. All these other ones you've done, practice.
Do you introduce yourself as a videographer or like a studio owner or
It depends.
the button clicker?
That one. Just sum it down, because whether I'm recording video, I'm pressing a button on the camera, or if I'm switching cameras, I'm pressing a button on the switcher. It depends who I'm in front of. If I'm in a business setting where me being a studio owner is more important than me being a videographer, I'll do that, vice versa. But yeah,
But you're both.
Yeah. I'll take it.
You're all three.
I'm all three. Some days I'm the janitor. Some days I'm like today I was painting stuff, paint on my hands, and there's a lot of like maintenance with owning a studio.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime that you do something that's like a non-traditional, I would say workflow, but like, if you want to be a nurse, you go to nursing school and you become a nurse. I went from like this thing that was a hobby that I really enjoyed into doing what I do now.
Same.
Yeah. It's weird because like I didn't get into doing video, and before I was in the video, I was in the photo, and before I was in the photo, I was into audio. So
you started with audio?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I feel like most people who are in this world would start with like photo or video.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, I wanted to work in a recording studio. That was my goal.
Like songs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I guess you'd call me a musician, but like I always thought that was cool how to capture.
Were you in a garage band?
I absolutely was.
Really?
I was in a
What
bunch
was
of
it
cover
called?
bands. Oh, you're getting into the good stuff now. I was in a band called Cadence.
Okay.
And then I was in a band Hanger 5.
Hanger 5?
So angsty sounded.
What instrument did you
Guitar.
play? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like do any vocals or
No,
anything?
nobody wants that. No.
Okay.
No. But
How old are you when you're like in your first band?
the first band, I was probably 15.
Oh, wow. Were you like playing places or was it just, okay.
Yeah, I've played on, it was Smoke on the Water.
Nice.
You know, talking about the Washington waterfront
Yeah.
stuff. And Washington used to have a series called Music in the Streets. And it was such a cool thing. I wish they still did it, but they would have musical acts set up far enough where like the noise wasn't overpowering.
Yeah.
And that, you know, you bring your PA there and your band would play. It was a really cool thing. And then they would have vendors and food, and I feel like it brought a lot of stuff to downtown Washington.
And you're doing this in like your teenage years? Okay.
I used to have a red Chevy Cavalier. That was 2-door. And I had a trailer we would pull behind it. And like, you know, I don't know if you know what a Chevy Cavalier looks like. It's a very cheap, small car. And the trailer was like a 4x8 like band trailer.
Okay.
And
If Tracy was like one of those producers on like the Joe Rogan podcast, I'd be like, Tracy, pull that up.
Tracy, pull that up. Tracy, pull that up. Do you want me to send you a picture of it?
I'll Google it after this.
I went that pathway of hobby to profession. I was fascinated with audio recording.
Because you were in the garage bands. And
My dad had a shop, and upstairs we transformed it into a studio. Like it had carpet on the walls and everything to record sound.
You put carpet on the walls?
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
You do that to deaden the sound.
Okay.
Yeah. It had like a glass thing just like this room has and everything. Again, I'll send you pictures.
You're making like so you had like a DIY situation. Okay.
Yeah, I had a drum booth and everything. And that's where I was able to, I was not good at audio recording back then. Okay. I'll admit that. I was good enough to cut like demos for bands to be like, this is what we sound like, you know, but not like this is
actual radio level recording.
Yeah. And it was good because like I learned from that stuff. I've always learned hands-on, and that's the way to me, that's the way to go. But so I would record bands and stuff. And then about that time is when YouTube like started getting popular, and there was a lot of people doing cover songs up there. And if you search long enough on YouTube, you'll find videos of me and a guy named Alex doing cover songs and stuff. And he would always handle the video stuff. I would record the audio, and we would kind of like.
You didn't sing.
I don't sing.
So then you're producing these videos?
Yeah, you're really going to go down the rabbit hole finding stuff. One of the songs we covered a Lady Gaga song, and
wait, you covered it? That means you sang it?
No, Taylor, give me a second. Let me cook. So we recorded the instrumental stuff, and we had a girl in Australia sing it.
Oh,
and this was like when like Paramore was like popping off, and like so that she sang that style to Alejandro.
How do you find a girl in Australia to sing
We just got connections. I told you it was this weird story.
This is a weird story.
Yeah.
How old are you at this point?
Probably 18.
Okay. Are you still in high school?
No.
Did you have any plans to go to like college, or were you like,
Yes.
I'm just gonna figure this out?
So originally I wanted to go to Barton for audio recording.
Where's Barton at?
Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a private college, I believe.
I thought it was. But.
So I go there. It was cool and everything, but it was very expensive.
Really, it's just private college.
So I was like, you know what? I need to go to college. I need to do something. So I went to Pitt, and I was like, let me get a business degree.
Like 2 year.
Yep.
So you did that?
It took me 3, but yeah, I did that. And I'm glad I did, because like I was one of the kids, like if I didn't do it, I probably wouldn't have done it, you know?
Yeah.
And this is a different time too. This is like, I feel like nowadays schools and parents are like, hey, if you might be the type of person to work in like a trade field, where back, I feel like it
was almost like looked down upon.
Yeah, yes, what college are you going to? What college? What you know? And I'm glad that that's made a shift, because
I think it has.
It definitely has. But yeah, that's what I did. I went to Pitt, got a business degree. Now I started getting into photography around this time, and from photography I got into videography, right? And
was it like more need based? Like you got into photography and saw there was a need for videography, or was this all still just hobby interest at this point?
It was still a hobby, but I got into video because my love of music. Because my goal was, I thought it would be so cool to have like a venue that has multiple cameras that bands could come and play, and you live stream it or you record it and then chop it up into like a, this band live at this venue.
You were ahead of your time with this.
And this is a very nerdy story I'm about to tell you, but I was trying things without knowing what I was doing. I'll give you an example. So like there's this place called Radio Shack that used to be a thing.
I'm familiar.
Okay. And you could buy these boxes that were made for home entertainment consoles, where if you have like a VCR, a DVD player, whatever, you could select it and it sends it to one input, right?
Okay.
Like if you only have one input. And I was like, oh, I can plug in multiple cameras and use this like a switcher.
What
Just
year is this that you're figuring this out?
This is like 2010, maybe. Okay. And for all the technical people, it does not work like that. Things have to sync up. It just doesn't work. So I like found all these VHS cameras and tried to like hook. I think I borrowed one from Tracy's dad. I had one. Like I was trying all these things and like it wasn't working, and like it was a failure. But that's how I learned. That's how I've always learned, is like messing up and learning from that and trying not to do it as much. But that was like the first thing. And now it's really funny to me because I have a studio that has a switcher with multiple cameras. I'm like, oh, I guess it was a failure at the time, but I guess I learned from it.
I think you saw the vision for what it could be.
Yeah. And that ties into like the love of music. I just thought that would be so cool to have a place where a band could come in and record like a live performance. And that's what kind of kicked off my interest into to video and shooting video. And it's still to this day, my favorite thing to shoot is music. And your podcast. And anything at Radiate Prints. What camera? Anything at Radiate Prints or Simple and Sentimental.
And here's $500. But we said that you went to Pitt. You're starting to get into photo and video.
Yes.
How do you go from this as a hobby to I can make money?
Okay, so at the time I was at Pitt, I got my 2-year degree in business administration. It took me 3. And then I was taking prereq classes to transfer to ECU for communications.
Okay.
So I was taking
that makes sense.
Yeah. And at the time, I was working part-time at WITN as a morning show photog, which it's like the entry level. Like it's not fun all the time because you get up super early. It's for the morning show. And then
What time are you getting there?
4.
Is that what time they all get there?
No. Like some of the anchors get there at like 1 and start prepping shows.
When do they sleep?
During the day.
Yikes.
Yes.
I don't think they get paid enough.
That's a whole nother podcast. But I was doing that. For about a year, and I got a phone call from the guy that heads up the creative services department
At ECU.
At WITN.
Okay.
Because I was just a part-time worker, and his name's Fred. Shout out to Fred. And he said, "Hey, would you like to be a full-time employee or come in and interview for a full-time position for our creative services videographer producer?" And I was like, "Yes." So I went.
No more ECU.
So I was in a class at Pitt when I got that phone call. I walked out of the class, took the phone call, went back in, got my backpack, and never went back to Pitt. Because no. And look, there's a reason I say that. It's like if I went to Pitt and had to spend the money and go, or if I went to ECU,
yes,
and spent the money there, the end goal would have been what I just got.
Yeah. So why do you need to waste the money and time?
Yes, college is important. I'm not telling anybody not to go to college, but that was my end goal because I didn't want to move away from Greenville.
Yeah.
And so I walked out, I had a really good feeling that I was going to get a job. I interviewed like a few days later. They offered the job. Then
you officially
stepped out because I'm not.
It sounds more dramatic the other way.
It does. Yeah, for the movie adaptation, we'll go with that. But that led me into an actual career doing this thing that just like I guess technically that day it went from hobby to like career.
Yeah.
But
how long of doing video and stuff on the side before you took the full?
Well, I've always done stuff for fun. Even when I was in the morning show stuff, I would bring my equipment in. At the time, the TV station wasn't even HD. And I had a camera that can do like HD and it looked really good. And I was like, oh, why aren't we using this stuff to do things? And I just accepted the fact that like, oh, this is broadcast. This just your little camera can't do it. Little did I know, like my little camera can outperform the big cameras. The TV doesn't update stuff very often, especially at that time. The station I worked at was like, we're about to go HD. We're building a new station. We're building a new station. Just wait, guys. Just use some duct tape, put it together best you can. So I kind of learned that just because it's a TV station with these big cameras doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do really good, high quality footage with smaller cameras. And that for anybody listening that's a nerd, this was during like the DSLR boom, when like the cameras that you would buy that could do pictures, they started putting video in it. It's very limited with like how long you can record and your camera will overheat. But what it would do is give you what people term the cinematic look, because there's depth of field, like it's like blurry in the background. And I started using my equipment for like station stuff. And
so you were investing in this stuff on the side just for fun.
Yeah. Even that little, I think it was like a $700 camera with like a lens that could blur out the background. Yeah, I was doing that. And that even when I was in, so I was morning show photog, creative services videographer, and then promotions director, I would slowly start like fitting in my equipment in each one to where when I was the promotions director, I was using my equipment because I was fast with it.
Were they paying you to do your own equipment?
They weren't, but it's one of those things, nobody asked for it. And I one of the things that I not battled with, but people, I would have ideas for shoots and stuff, and I had people say like, that's bigger market stuff. Don't do that.
As in like Greenville was not a big enough
Raleigh
area.
Thing. That's
okay.
and I'm like, I don't care.
Like why not produce a great quality product?
Yeah. Why not put time into it? And that even in the promotions category of broadcast, there's still time restraints on stuff, and I can handle those. But I like the freelance work that I do now. The restraints are on me. Like I make those. Well, I don't make deadlines, but I abide by those deadlines, and I have more time to craft something that's higher quality than if I needed to turn around like that.
Yeah. So at what year did you like take the plunge from working at the station and then doing all this stuff on the side to like easy. All in?
When I was doing commercials at TV station, I had access to all these business owners, and I would get along with a lot of them. And 2015, they start like
kind of putting a bug in your ear.
Hey, have you done this? You thought about doing your own thing? And if you go back in time and told me in 2014, like, hey man, you're going to a creative studio with a podcast set and all this stuff, like, no way, like that's crazy. No. But the more I heard these business owners that are doing the thing being like, you should try this, you would be great, I would support you, it got to where I was like, well, let me try this. You'll never know if you don't do it. And so I was like, okay, I got people that want video stuff done. I didn't just like I was doing freelance stuff on the side. It wasn't like, I'm going to quit my job with no prospects. I had stuff lined up where I was like, okay, at least I can make X amount and we'll be okay. But one of the things that I wanted to do is I always try to innovate something in the sphere of what I'm doing. And at the time, a piece of equipment came out called an A10 mini switcher, which made it to where it was affordable for people like myself to hook in a bunch of cameras and switch the cameras.
So we are back to
right where
Shack.
We are back to the Radio Shack thing. Yeah.
Okay. So what is this, 10 years later?
Yeah. And so I've got one, and COVID hits. So this switcher is made where you can plug in multiple cameras, good audio, and live stream to Facebook, YouTube, wherever you want to. And when COVID hit, everybody had to do virtual, right? So you could not find one of those things anywhere because churches,
they're all buying them up.
They're buying them up. And I had this competitive advantage that I had this piece of gear that's like $500 piece of gear that nobody could get a hold of that like magically made it to where I can do what I was trying to do back in high school.
Right.
So my first year, I did a lot of freelance stuff, but I did a lot of live streaming, weddings, funerals, events, church stuff. Like I got pretty good at it, and I had
How did people know that you had this piece of equipment?
a lot of word of mouth. A lot of word of mouth.
Have you found that's always been true in your business?
Yeah, word of mouth. I try to have a good relationship with clients. I try to communicate. I try because that's like honestly just as important as being good at doing video.
Yeah.
If you work with somebody that you weren't comfortable with or didn't make you feel good about what you're doing, your experience wouldn't be great, right? But yeah, word of mouth is really everything. I've never had to push myself and to advertise myself until owning a studio.
Okay, so let's back up to pre-studio then. You never spent a marketing dollar.
Nope. Pre-studio, no.
No. And you sustained yourself. Did you have any other employees or just you?
It was just me.
Okay.
It was just me. Now, my first year's freelance, I did a lot of stuff like I would second shoot on a wedding, or like I would do the video side of it.
Like odds and ends almost.
And that's bring Chad into the mix. That's what
Yeah.
I did a lot of stuff with. Did a lot of live. Okay, so he had weddings lined up, and they
during
couldn't
COVID.
have the big weddings, so they would. What
For
would they
those
do?
people who aren't listening, who's Chad?
Chad, oh, you're gonna make me shout out Chad Winstead. Chad Winstead is this is the only time I'm ever saying this, Chad. Chad Winstead is a very, very good photographer, and in my opinion, he's probably the best wedding photographer in the East Coast.
So future brides.
Well, I don't think he's doing any more weddings.
Really? Never mind.
But I'm sure for the right price he would. But yeah, his work is extremely good. And he came to me. He's like, "Hey, I need somebody to do the video side while I do the photo side. I want you to shoot it how I do my photos. And my goal is to not make the bride and groom do stuff twice. Like you get it while I'm doing mine. And also when you're doing weddings, having the photographer and the videographer communicate is key instead of like you're in my way. No, I'm in, yes. It's always better to do
Find
that.
a team.
Yeah.
All right. So in the grand scheme of 1413 visuals, we're talking about 2020 and just kind of figuring it out, like being freelance between like COVID and also trying to learn how to be like self-sustaining.
Yeah.
As things start to normalize, where do you kind of find your niche?
So remember I told you like when I went freelance, I was like, I'll do this freelance thing, and then I want to bring a new thing to the freelance thing, and that was live streaming. I've tried to do that almost each year. Like, okay, what's the new thing? The next year, I was like, I want to learn DMX lighting.
What is that?
So DMX lighting, DMX is like a protocol that you're able to talk to lights and make them do things. Okay. And I want to do it because it gives you a lot of control over lights. You basically have like a board that you can make it do things. If you want it to flash at this point, you want these 3 lights to do a shape or whatever. That's the protocol that you do. And I've used that knowledge that I learned in music videos and podcast studios, because that's what these are. These are DMX lights. So
all these little things that you would do each year kind of built onto what you were doing.
It would push... It would push the knowledge that I have for video and photo and lighting. It would push it to the next level.
How do you learn how to do this stuff if there's not like a school
or
like classes to go to?
I'm hands-on, messing up and doing
YouTube?
it. Yeah, YouTube helps too. But a lot of the stuff now prior to me being a freelance, a lot of stuff was hands-on. When I got that camera, that $700, $600 camera, I would just walk around. I remember I would just go like downtown Greenville, downtown Winterville, walk around and just shoot pretty footage. I have like terabytes of footage that is really nothing but me just
trying stuff out.
Just trying stuff out.
Because you're self-taught when it comes to like editing, shooting, all that.
Yeah.
Do you see this being something that you eventually hire like a team to manage, or do you always see this being as like just a Josh thing with a couple of people helping you?
So going back to all those clients that the business owners that told me to do that, they're the same ones telling me, you got to scale, dude. Like, you've got to hire people. And it's hard for me on the freelance side. Studio side is a different thing, because some of the stuff like running the podcast.
But for someone who doesn't listen, who's listening to this and has no idea what we're talking about, we've got the studio, which is the podcast studio, and photographers and videographers can come rent this out and they can do their own stuff here. It has nothing to do with your video.
Right. Yes. It does not require me, except for the podcast side of it, because I have to switch to cameras. But yes,
it's like a physical space.
It is a physical thing that can live on its own.
Right.
Yeah. Where my freelance stuff requires me to be in it and shooting, and it's me.
But a freelance, it's like a digital product that you're providing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you're being told by other people that you need to scale these things.
And it's something I know I need to.
Do you want to, though?
I have big plans for the studio, and once things are in motion, yes.
So yes to scaling the studio.
To just, whether it means just having somebody in here to help people with their podcast, do like what Tracy's doing right now and switch to cameras.
So it's not limited to your time.
Exactly.
But
actually, I'll be getting my time back if I do this. And I know that's like the thing that you want. That's what you're getting your time back by not doing things that other people could do.
Yes. But do you ever see yourself hiring like another videographer or something for the freelance stuff?
No. I think if I want to grow something, I want to grow the studio. Looking
back over it, you started all this from a hobby. Do you still enjoy it?
I do. Like, enjoy
really,
it.
Or no?
No, I do.
Or is it work?
There's some days, it is such a cliche answer. There's some days that it is work. There's some days where I'm like, hey, we got to sit down and really focus in on stuff. But I still look forward to it, like, when I get up, coming in to work. Like, I really do. To what level, that depends on what it is I'm doing. But doing creative stuff and making things, whether it be photo or video, out of ideas, or especially like when I work with somebody and they're like, hey, I have this idea. I'm like, ooh, tell me. And then I'll figure out how to do it visually.
Right. And
when it comes together and they're like, oh, this is amazing. Like, that's a really big payoff, because you turn the idea into a visual thing. But no, I still like it. And when it comes to the creative part of it, it sounds like that's your area of strength. How do you handle, I mean, I know, like, and you can talk a little bit about what Tracy does too, but how do you handle being such like a small team with all that a business requires, and like the parts that you're really good at, but then there's also things that you have to do that are not in your wheelhouse? When my wife Tracy started doing stuff, she started by taking over like invoicing and booking stuff, because I'm not good at it. I would, you would think I would want money, and I do, but me having to stop editing and go write up an invoice, I was not good at it. And so when she took that over, that honestly took it to the next level, more than like, oh, you bought a nicer camera or you bought this and that. No, her doing that, having a competent person doing that wouldn't slip through the cracks. It makes the business look better, and it allows me to do what I do best, and that's like the editing, shooting stuff. And even with the studio, like, that was just the freelance stuff. When we took over studio, she's the studio manager. So anytime you're booking something or an invoice, that's her. Yeah. And it's stuff like sending out codes to the door. There's a lot of stuff she does that if I had to do, I would start slipping, and then the studio reputation probably wouldn't be great. Right. So like, and the other big thing is, like, we are two different people. Like, the way she thinks is totally different from the way I think. And I think that's worked out perfect, because I'm doing the creative stuff, she's doing the logical stuff. And she's much smarter than me too, so. You've really learned how to play that with being like husband and wife business. I feel like it's true though. But the strengths and weaknesses, and knowing like what each of you is good at. Yeah. Like, I'm serious. I think it benefits. And I also want to ask you, 'cause I'm in the same situation. How do you have like
cutoffs when you're at home and you're like, all right, we're going to stop talking about work, or is it just
No.
all the time?
We can't. We don't really talk as adults until the kids are to bed. So
Amen.
it's like 8 o'clock at night.
Because
It's
you've got little ones.
yeah, I've got
so,
3 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that,
not like teenage kids. Like these are kids
they
who
require a lot of attention.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
my kids like to do something where when they hear me and my husband start talking, there's like,
Oh my God. Yes.
or like
That-
making some kind of noise, even if it's not that they need something. It's just
Well,
someone else is talking.
I'll get home and I'll be like, "Hey, today, Taylor talked about that," and they all 3 are like, "They need mom right now. Whatever it is, they need mom. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something." And then they all get louder over each other, and it's like,
we just learned that we just wait until
well, sometimes,
they're in bed.
sometimes we just go to the closet, shut the door, and eat dinner in peace. And any parents that say they haven't done that, they either have just one kid or they're lying. You don't hide from your kids every now and then?
I have a 1-year-old still, so
Okay,
it's
you're
kind of,
good. Yeah. Yeah, it
like
might be
maybe
dangerous.
a little older. I mean,
Here's your Gerber.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that there's been times where I have recently, like I have a baby monitor in their room that is focused on, because I have 2 girls, they share a room.
Yeah.
One is 1, one is 3. And I have the camera focused on the 1-year-old's crib because, let's be honest,
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about her health and safety than
yeah.
the 3-year-old. And I can't focus both ways. I don't have a switcher.
Oh, have you gone to Radio Shack?
So I can't see both and toggle.
Yeah.
But I'm watching her, and I have watched my 3-year-old pull the rocking horse over to the 1-year-old's crib and scale the rocking horse to get into the bed with the 1-year-old because they want to jump and have fun. And like,
That's sweet.
I think it's sweet. I think some parents would be like, "Oh, it's dangerous," but I'm like, you know what? They're having a good time.
Yeah, yeah,
She's sturdy.
yeah.
Like she's gonna be okay.
Kids are sturdy, dude. You can drop them like 5 or 6 times. They're fine.
But it's I think like couple like I'm sure you run into this too. When you tell people that you work with your wife, what do they say?
Oh, how do you do it?
I could never do that.
Yeah. No, I like when she comes to work.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know if she feels the same way about working with me. But I like that. Like I get excited about that. I'm like, oh, Tracy's coming to work.
Yeah, I sometimes it feels weird when Nick's not at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wish. Is there one small thing that you've done starting the business that you think has made a really big difference?
Maintaining relationships with people that I've met over the years. It sounds cliche,
Like
but
don't burn bridges. Is that kind of what you're saying?
not just that, but
staying in touch.
staying in touch and being nice and being approachable. Like I said, and I have to do that with word of mouth being my main thing that I do, because word of mouth, it's important to me because a lot of times if somebody worked with you that you had a good experience says, "Hey, I got a friend that's a business owner. Let me tell them about 1413 Visuals." They have the same values as the person you work with, and so therefore you're working with another good new client, and that's been a positive thing my whole career doing stuff.
Yeah, that's good. And thinking back about your younger self, if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Like it really is that. I don't think I've ever been had doubts. I know that doing this stuff, if you ever think you know everything, you don't. And I try to keep that open mindset to where I'm always learning. I'm watching what other people do stuff. Videography and photography, it can be competitive, but it's always worked out to meet other people doing the same thing and see how they're doing stuff, and just keep an open mind and always be learning.
Always be learning.
Always be learning.
And besides your business,
Go ahead.
what
What's
is
one
one
thing that
passion
you
or
do?
hobby that you have?
Playing guitar.
Okay.
Playing guitar.
So you're stuck with that.
I did. It's like a stress reliever.
Nice.
Yeah. And then one of the cool things, like you've seen my office, I have a drum set and all that stuff. Can't
Yeah.
play the drums worth anything. but my guitar and stuff are in there, and that's like a stress reliever. And that's like one of the biggest parts of being a business owner is like I'll
can have that kind of
edit
stuff.
something like, all right, 15-minute jam session because I've been sitting down editing all day. So yeah.
That's good. That's good that you're comfortable enough to give yourself permission to do that kind of stuff. I struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, and just okay. Here's another like something I had to figure out. It's okay when you do creative stuff. It's okay to have days where you like try new things and aren't making money doing it. I'll explain, like, because that's how I learn. I feel guilty. I'm like, I should be editing this.
Yeah.
I should be doing this, but instead I'm messing around with like lighting or something like that, and I feel guilty because I need to be making money. But that thing that I learned that day, I may not use that technique or whatever for months or a year, but I eventually will use it. Just like learning DMX. That when I was doing that, I was like, I'm not. What am I doing? But now I have a studio where everything's controlled via DMX. So it did come back around.
Mm-hmm. And if someone was coming to visit Eastern North Carolina for the very first time, where would you take them?
Basil's.
Basil's.
Mm-hmm. Mighty Meaty. Long Island iced tea.
Mighty Meaty is a pizza.
Dead.
Tracy, get off this shot. What's the beer dip they have that's really good?
It's called beer dip. I've had it.
Okay, I'm done. You still recording, Tracy? Okay. Yeah, Mighty Meaty. Pizza from Basil's, Long Island iced tea, and the beer dip.
With the soft pita chips or the hard ones?
Oh, soft.
100%.
Pita chips.
Yes. I don't like the, I always get the soft ones.
Yeah, I like the sausage beer dip.
I didn't know they did that.
Oh.
It's just sausage dip.
Tracy, you want your own microphone?
All right, Josh. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
No problem. It's nice to be in the seat for once and not behind in the shadows.
Yeah. I enjoyed hearing more about how you started.
Yeah. Thanks.
I hope it's inspiring to other people who are in that hobby freelance world. That
there's a lot of people that are in that thinking about making that transition.
But then you've also brought a unique perspective to people who are in that world, but want to know what are my options for not just it all relying on me. Because you've got your studio that doesn't just rely on you. So very cool. Thanks, Josh.
No problem.
And thank you for tuning into this episode of Shop Talk with Radiate Prints. We'll see you next week.